Super sunny out there on this Monday afternoon. It's also just a little cool. I want to give you the first alert on that. And while we are tracking the return of rain tomorrow, soak it in today. And we have some dry time coming up later on this week, too. Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Plenty of sun on our live camera network around town right now, but temperatures are a little chilly. They're still in the 40s here in Cincinnati and through much of the tri-state, too. But tomorrow, instead of it being about the possibility of, say, the cold temps, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about how rain will impact your plans. So just giving you the heads up on that. But right now, temperature is not looking too bad at all. We do have many of us getting close to 50 degrees, and forecast highs here in Cincinnati are going to be in the low 50s. So we don't really have a stiff breeze from any direction, so just a little cool outside. We have 49 here in Cincy, eastern Hamilton County at the Lunken Airport, Lebanon 45, and our cooler spot has been this entire morning in Wilmington, which is now at 44 degrees. Throughout the rest of the day today, expect more of the same. Cool sunshine, temps climbing just by a little bit back into the low 50s, 52 your forecast high, and then towards your evening with the sun setting around 5:30 tonight, temps will start to set too. Middle 40s for your evening plans, low 40s by about 7 to 8, and then the 30s. That's what we're waking up to tomorrow morning. So let's waste no time, talk about that first alert weather day, which it's all day that we're seeing the possibility of some rain. But the heaviest rain that I'm seeing is going to be in the morning. This is super normal for this time of year to see the heaviest rain in the morning, specifically the mid-morning for this round, which is the good news here, because at least the early birds, while we are tracking some rain for you guys, it's not going to be as heavy as the batch of rain to come in the mid-morning. You'll see it here in just a second what I'm talking about. By the afternoon, we're going to catch some breaks within the rain. So no, not a washout for your first alert weather day, but it's still going to be damp, it's still going to be cold, it's going to be dreary outside, and we're going to be tracking some rain too for the afternoon. It's just not going to be as widespread as the morning. However, we're watching as that cold front tries to come through the area. It'll do so later on in the evening. Just ahead of it, we can't rule out some pop-up showers, maybe a few thunderstorms in the evening. It really depends on that afternoon, because if we see more dry time compared to wet time, for lack of a better term, if we see less rain in the afternoon, that'll increase our chances of thunderstorms. But from what I'm seeing now, it actually is going to be pretty rainy in the afternoon, at least off and on, just enough to keep the atmosphere stable. And what you need to know about that is it keeps the chance of thunderstorms, and certainly anything strong or severe, it keeps those chances pretty low. So let's go ahead and talk about or show you the timeline of this here pretty quickly into 19 at noon, because kind of the biggest weather story we have going on for you guys. So midnight, still dry, 2 to 4. Spotty showers starting to lift in from the south and the west. Notice it's not really too widespread at this point in time. Again, the mid-morning is when we expect the heaviest rain to be pulling on through. So 6, early birds, early risers. There's going to be rain in the tri-state, but it's not going to be widespread. So depending on where you are, you might not see the rain for your morning commute. However, by about 8 to 10 o'clock, that's when we expect some heavy rain to be moving on into the tri-state. Heavy downpours, can't rule out some lightning. Thunderstorms are going to be possible. However, it's mainly going to be rain. Maybe a strong wind gust or two, but again, I'd say the biggest impact and most widespread impact will be the rain chances. But by the afternoon tomorrow, like I mentioned, that's when we start to see some dry time coming into the mix. If we see more dry time, perhaps we'll see more thunderstorms in the evening. If we see more rain in the afternoon, we'll see less storms in the evening. You see that relationship that we're trying to build here? By the afternoon, this model is doing a great job of showing the possibility of just those off and on showers towards the afternoon, in which, yeah, we're going to hold on to those showers even through about dinner time. But then as 6 o'clock approaches, this is kind of, for lack of a better term, worst case scenario, even then it's not really looking too concerning at this point. It's just perhaps the worst case scenario, for lack of a better term. But 6 to 7, we're going to be watching out for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And if they develop into this line that you see here north and west of Cincinnati, let me back it up to about 7. You see that line? Kind of just middle of your screen there north of Cincinnati, if we see a pretty organized line of showers and thunderstorms, then we would start to talk about the possibility of something strong, maybe severe, like what this model is showing you guys. However, if we hold on to more rain in the afternoon, we might not see any thunderstorms in the evening. So one of those setups that you'll want to be watching this forecast very carefully, especially if you've got plans, especially if those plans just so happen to be outdoors. I know it's kind of going to be cold anyways, but hey, you can have outdoor plans in fall. But keep this in mind for any plans, really, and it's certainly any travel. By about 10 to midnight, things will start to clear out, and we're going to be waking up to a little bit of fog on Wednesday. Don't want to give you the first alert on that. It depends on the cold front and when it fully passes through the area. So if you're not seeing the rain, fog will try to settle into the tri-state as soon as Tuesday evening, and then we'll hang on to it for Wednesday morning as well. All right, let's see if we have any questions coming on in this Monday morning. Not seeing anything, which hopefully that is some good news coming on in. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some rainfall totals for you guys, because what we're talking about, the possibility of rain from morning to evening on Monday, you see behind me, the rain is not going to amount to a whole lot. About an inch, give or take, especially south and west of Cincinnati, kind of where you see that blue color there. That's, say, upwards of 2 inches possible. But most of us will see an inch or less, especially north of Cincinnati, in which you'll see the lowest rainfall totals out of everyone in the tri-state, and you might not see much rain at all, not enough to surpass 1/4 of an inch. So again, the heaviest rain and the greatest possibility of something strong, maybe severe, is going to be southwest of Cincinnati. And notice I added more to this, so we can't rule out some rain towards the late week too. This is through Saturday morning. Notice that at least most of us will have at least 1 inch of rain by the end of the week, if not more. Some of us will see closer to 2 inches of rain, and that's because we're not done with the rain for the rest of the week. I'd say Tuesday's kind of the day that we're most confident, and that's just because it's tomorrow. We have a better idea of how rain is going to behave and what we're going to be seeing with those showers too. Wednesday is looking mostly dry, maybe a stray sprinkle in the morning, and then that's it. Thursday is also looking mostly dry, but that 30 you see there, that is the possibility of some evening spotty showers ahead of Friday, which Friday, I know, not great timing for the playoff games here in Southwest Ohio, the football playoff games for that matter, but keep this in mind, 70% chance of showers on that day. And with temperatures going to be a little bit on the warmer side on Friday, I'm not worried about snow. Perhaps that's music to your ears. So let's talk about the 7-day forecast, shall we? Low 50s today, near 50 tomorrow, and low 50s on Wednesday. So we're going to be hanging on to jacket-worthy weather through at least the midweek, especially in the mornings and especially on Tuesday, when which we do see the rain. It keeps temps relatively steady, middle 30s in the morning, near 50 in the afternoon. Again, the big story there is going to be the chance for some showers, a few thunderstorms, of which can't rule out something strong southwest of Cincinnati. But Wednesday, cloudy, a sprinkle possible. Not worried about the weather that day really, but just a little cool and gloomy. And then Thursday, I'm really not worried about the daytime at all. And for what it's worth, the evening's not looking too impactful either. It's just, we'll see some spotty showers coming into the mix. Friday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, expect them middle 60s. It'll be the warmest day out of your 7-day. And that will, of course, start to give a little bit of a better chance for some storms that afternoon. So that's a day we're going to be watching. I encourage you guys to do the same. Might need to be a first alert weather day, but depending on the timing of these showers and storms. Saturday, hey, well, Friday's kind of looking messy. Saturday and the rest of your weekend, it's looking better. A little bit of rain early Saturday can't be ruled out, but the daytime itself and the afternoon and your evening and for all of Sunday, looking nice and dry. Middle 50s. We're going to hang on to some clouds. That's it. I mean, it's a busy weekend here in Cincinnati. You got UC on Saturday, you got FC Cincinnati hosting Inter Miami on Sunday, and the Bengals hosting the Patriots on Sunday. And the weather is going to be great for it. It's just going to be typical November weather. Jackets in the morning, the evening, and maybe a lighter jacket in the afternoon with the 50s. And then as we step into your 10-day forecast, starting to see and get closer to Thanksgiving travel time, and I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'm seeing some strong signals of big changes after Thanksgiving. And so while travel before Thanksgiving is looking pretty okay, maybe a shower or two possible on Wednesday, maybe bigger changes are to come after the holiday. I'm seeing it getting a lot colder. So something you want to keep your eye on. I'm going to be obviously keeping my eyes on it too. I just want to give you guys the heads up in case you see anyone posting about some big changes coming to the forecast. And while I'm seeing those signals, that's well away. That is outside the 10-day because, I mean, what? Day 10 right now, Wednesday, that's the day before Thanksgiving, and any of these big changes would arrive after. And even then, 10 days into 10-day forecast, you can expect some changes, especially in the finer details, like the exact high, the exact low. What I'm saying, I'm seeing some big changes. It's looking like it's going to get pretty cold there after Thanksgiving. So we'll let you guys know of those changes as they come, of course. Any questions coming on in? And I'm not seeing any questions. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this Monday afternoon. I'll have the latest information about tomorrow's First Alert Weather Day coming up at 3 o'clock on Fox 19. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Monday.